Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis here. Here I am number 2 in line for Banshee, checking out his gunsmith inventory, foundry packages, field test weapons, all the good stuff we've got. So let's jump in, take a look at what he's got. I'm just going to go ahead and cut in line here, excuse me. Thank you. For the Suros DIS-43, it's a scout rifle, so range is never an issue. So you're looking for as much stability as possible, and then either hidden hand, maybe counterbalance, it's kind of up to you. But on number 1, we've got a pretty good option. Perfect balance on the first start, so definitely a very stable gun. You've got hand-laid stock, even more stability, paired with a loss of range on a scout rifle, not a big deal. Now in the middle, I'd probably like to see hidden hand first, just with scout rifles getting those headshots a little more important. But it does have counterbalance on it, so pretty much just going to shoot straight as an arrow. So pick this one up if you want to check it out. It's probably a reasonable roll for this one, as the DIS-43 is not usually an epic gun, but if you want something that's ultra stable, can't go wrong with this one. So number 1, perfect balance, counterbalance, hand-laid stock, hard to go wrong. It's going to be very stable, easy to shoot. For the Arminius-D, we come to one that has an okay option, but not a great one. What I would like to see on this gun is either crowd control or army of one on the first section, then counterbalance and braced frame. That's kind of your god tier roll, especially braced frame and counterbalance. That's going to be an ultra stable bullet hose, really useful. Unfortunately, number 2 went a completely different direction, and not a bad thing for auto rifles because most of them need range. You need some stability on this gun big time to keep it in check. So rangefinder and rifled barrel on number 2, pretty good. Both boosts to range, definitely max out, get a really good distance that you can use this gun. Unfortunately, if you can't aim the thing, it's a little difficult. So personally, if I had like counterbalance with rifled barrel, then I'd be considering this one pretty reasonable, kind of a decent mix of the two. But unfortunately, with all range and no stability, this one could be a little hard to control. Personally, I would say wait this week if you already have a really good one, you want to check one out with more range on it. Number 2 with rangefinder and rifled barrel is decent, but I would probably tell you guys to wait for counterbalance and braced frame. That's going to be your god tier roll, but that's my preference. For the Eirene RR4, number 1 is an okay option just for the fact that it actually has casket mag, and I have not seen one of those in a while. Having this heavy hitting of a sniper rifle with an increased magazine size up to 5 can be really useful, especially if you're going for bosses. But my perfect roll would be just a little bit different because unfortunately this doesn't have all the greatest perks to go with it. So on the front end, I'd like to see something like triple tap. So if you do land those precision shots continually, you're going to get another round in the magazine. And then if you actually paired that one with casket mag, you're going to be in good shape to help the magazine size. I also have mulligan on one that I've got, which I really do like. In case you miss, you get another shot. Something like unflinching actually isn't going to be bad, just because if you are under fire, it's just a little easier to aim. Clown cartridge, kind of okay, but hit or miss. And then of course I've got injection mold on mine for a boost to stability, giving up range instead of casket mag. So it's kind of your preference, but mine that I have is triple tap, injection mold, and then I've got mulligan. So very ammo efficient, very good for bosses. The one today is got outlaw, which unfortunately I have to get kills with unless you're just popping heads off a whole lot of enemies from far away. That's not really what this gun's going to be for. And then it's got casket mag, which is good, and unflinching, which isn't too shabby, but it's just that first perk isn't quite there. So it's your preference, guys, if you want that casket mag to try it out. It's a pretty good gun overall. I've just got used to it and enjoy it, but the perks that I've got on mine is more of a PvE beast. This one's kind of somewhere middle of the ground. Basically, you can figure out if you like casket mag enough to get this one, or wait for something maybe better. Second to last, we've got the Aofie Rua-D. Now, one of these actually does have surplus, which is a good start. Unfortunately, I'd like to pair it with number 3, and then I'd be in pretty good shape. Unfortunately, I can't put them together, so this week has a decent but not amazing one. Surplus with Feeding Frenzy. While surplus is great for that ammo efficiency, it's what we really look for. Kills with this weapon increase reload speed for a short time. That one's okay, but you're not always going to get kills with a sniper rifle, especially if you're meant to use this one on bosses quite frequently. So unfortunately, Feeding Frenzy kind of goes pretty low in comparison to Spray and Play, which number 3 has. But unfortunately, number 3 has Outlaw, which depends on kills as well. So both of those kind of suck in their own right, at least on this one. Now, finally, on the end, you've got High Caliber, Armor Piercing, Quick Draw, all those different options, but none have perfect balance on it, so again, not quite there. As I said, Surplus, Spray and Play, and Perfect Balance would be a really great roll on this one. None of them have it. It's your choice if you want to pick up a number 1 at least, see if it's got that surplus, see how you like surplus, if you even care that it's going to be there. Other than that, you can wait until another week, see if we get something better. Finally, we come to the JLB47. Now, you can pick this one up next week again to see what else you get, so you may as well pick up one of these. And I would tell you to get number 3, just for the fact that it's got tracking on it. So heavy payload for bigger blast radius and tracking. Pretty solid PvE rocket launcher. You've got perfect balance, which is kind of meh when it comes to rocket launchers, but you do have quick draw, which is going to be helpful if you need to switch over and use that rocket launcher. So number 3 is pretty good. It doesn't have javelin. It's kind of missing that one that's going to make it that epic roll, but it's still 2 out of 3, tracking and heavy payload, pretty good. May as well pick that one up, see if you like it, and get another JLB-47 for next week to see if we can get that perfect roll, or if nothing else, hold on to it after next week if we don't get that epic roll. So number 3 with tracking on the JLB-47, pick that one up and we'll see what we get next week. For the field test weapons, first we've got the Suros TSA-10, precision kills with an auto rifle. Just take your time and get those precision kills anywhere in the world on enemies. Number 2, the Hawk-A Test A, score crucible kills with this hand cannon. Now, hand cannons helped some of their initial accuracy, but honestly, a test hand cannon could be rough to go in PvP, so you might be able to do this in private matches if you've got some buddies, but outside of that, if you're having struggles with this one, it's going to be a rough one, so don't beat yourself up if this one doesn't happen. Then we've got the Hawk-A Test A shotgun used against Hive. Easy place to do this, just go to the mission you've awoken the Hive, let them run at you, shoot as much as you can, try and get some ammo, and just keep rinse and repeat until you take this one out. Then you've got the Hawk-A Test A sniper, use this against Cabal Centurions. You can go to pretty much anywhere on Mars that you've got Centurions, the first mission where they spawn in. Pretty good place to do that as well. And finally, we've got the Test RR1 sniper rifle in Crucible. Now, this would be a good one. You've actually got luck in the chamber on this one. Really isn't going to do anything crazy. Headshot's still going to kill you. But if you do use this one, good way to maybe, hone those sniper skills, because you may not have the perfect scope or the perfect perks. But if you can get some kills with this one, you're probably going to improve your skills just a little bit because it's going to be a little harder to use. So test this one out, see if you can get some kills, work on those skills. Finally, we come down to the Foundry orders for next week. First, we've got the Cositas SR4. As you guys know, these Amalon Scout Rifles can be quite good with the right perks, pretty much close to a hung jury as you can get. And hey, what do you know? We've got the Tuanella SR4. You've got both Scout Rifles from Amalon. They can both be very good. If you can get something like Triple Tap, Firefly, Extended Mag, those are going to be really great PvE guns. I use my hung jury all the time, and these are both pretty close to it. So pick up both of these and see what we can get for rolls next week. Then we've also got the Kumakatok HC4 and the Eirene HC4, the 2 hand cannons for Amalon. Now, Amalon hand cannons, of course, as we know, are lacking in the range department. The Eirene HC4 does have the higher impact of the 2, and the range on the Kumakatok is pretty terrible. You might find a decent roll that I had a couple weeks ago for PvE. These are really never going to be PvP guns. This one's at least got a chance to be PvP. But again, looking for a big boost of range there for sure. Finally, the JLB-47, as I said, pick this one up because you never know if we're going to get that God roll on the JLB-47 next week, and it's one of the better rocket launchers that you can get. High blast radius, high velocity to get started, and then the stats can get it even higher. So pick this one up for sure. You won't regret it. All right, Guardians. Well, that is going to wrap it up for Arms Day coverage for the week of January 14th. If you guys need anything, leave a comment below. Always happy to answer questions if you guys have thoughts about rolls or perks or what you guys would like to see. Of course, if you enjoyed the video, drop that like below. It helps me out. If you didn't like the video, hit that dislike button, but let me know in the comments what I can do to improve. I'm always trying to make these videos better for you guys. Also going to be starting up my Neo series in IOH. It's that new kind of Dark Souls-esque ninja game. There's a lot of cool stuff to it, so definitely check that one out. I'll be putting up part 1 today. Kind of the prologue and the intro, but there's a lot more to that game, even than some Dark Souls stuff that it has. So it's kind of a good mix. Dark Souls, maybe a little Devil May Cry, a little bit of Diablo loot stuff going on there. So a cool mix, a lot of fun. I'll be getting that one going for you guys. So check that video out today as well. And other than that, thank you for tuning in. We'll get the Zur up later this week, but I'll be playing a lot of Neo for a little while. A lot of fun. Going to be enjoying that game, so hopefully you guys enjoy it too. Talk to you guys later. Have a good week.